What's going on, my Astro family? Yes, we are having another event in the skies, and that is going to be our lunar eclipse in the sign of Pisces that is happening on September 17th, 2024. And guys, get ready for dramatic endings, sudden new beginnings. The full moon is going to be revealing hidden truths. Things are going to be bubbling to the surface that has always been there, but it's just going to make itself known. We're going to have to make those major decisions and transformation with regards to what this energy is bringing us. So you can expect big shifts and changes within your relationship. I'm talking about dramatic changes and transformation through the process of self-discovery. With this particular lunar eclipse, get ready for major spiritual breakthroughs and some emotional growth. And the full moon eclipse that's happening in Pisces is going to set the stage for a brand new cycle of change and a new chapter in our life. So just to give you guys a background, full moons and eclipses reveal hidden truths. So full moons and lunar eclipses are about moments of culmination when things that have been brewing under the surface come forth into the spotlight. And these types of cosmic events, they bring clarity to situations that have been unclear or unresolved for some times. So you've been sweeping something under a rug, you just haven't had the energy to deal with it. Guess what? The energy is coming because the full moon is going to intensify those emotions related to those areas in your life that this full moon is affecting. And as the energy of the eclipse stirs up drama, particularly in the areas of life ruled by the house and the sign where the full moon falls in your chart, you're going to have heightened energy. And this heightened energy can lead to an intense internal crisis. And this often reveals the gaps or deficiencies where we are lacking in our lives and are just not happy with that lack. And this can be a perfect time to dive deep into what we emotionally will require to feel complete and those areas that are influenced heavily by the eclipse in our charts. So expect I have to warn you, a temporary cloud of uncertainty because this energy bursts forward and the energy is so potent that we have a surge of emotions that makes us just irrational, and we cannot be really contain and don't really know how to navigate the energy that's happening that's suddenly being activated by the eclipse. So one important thing to remember is that when the eclipses first happen, they tend to obscure or hide our vision temporarily because there's just too much going on. And so while we might feel a strong urge to act, it's better to just sit, chill, just chillax for a minute and let our inner wisdom guide us. That might be hard to do, but if you have this information, then you're prepared, and you should know, take a deep breath and just wait until the energy passes, get a hold of it before you make major moves or whatever. So full moons, they already amplify your emotions. And, when it's combined with an eclipse, the impact is 10 times as great, 10 times as more intense. And so that means your judgment is not in the best situation. Is not oriented for you to make those choices that affects your life. So you have to take a chill pill. So rather than just rushing to conclusions, you just gotta, press pause and allow the time to reflect and trust that clarity is going to come. Right. And so when the eclipses hit, patience is the key, because guess what? You're not the only one feeling this burst of emotion. Other people are feeling it too. So they might be acting a little strange towards you, and you're looking at them like, what the hell? Like, what is their problem? Know that they are being influenced, and, give them some grace before you act and you judge their actions, because they might not be getting this information. They might not know. Know that eclipses bring relationship shifts. Lunar eclipses often highlight relationship dynamics, so they trigger moments of realization about what we truly need from our connections, which can lead through breakthroughs and breakups and sudden connections. And sometimes these realizations involves, they do involve our partnerships, obviously, with others, but they often are, as they are about relationships. It's not only about the relationships with the people that we encounter maybe suddenly or even every other day, but they're also about our relationships to the subjects that are governed by the house that the eclipses affect within our chart. And so I'm going to speak generally about how they affect every sign specifically and in a very general manner. But if you want to know how it is going to affect you, you can always book a reading with me and we can, unpack how the eclipses will affect you. So moving on though, emotional intensity of these moments can lead to significant changes, obviously. And some relationships, they probably will end by the challenges that are called forth and unearthed and are surfacing because they can no longer stay under the surface. While others, relationships might be challenged to and gain strength and a newfound understanding of what mutual needs are so that the relationship can stand on even stronger ground after you address what is needed. So dramatic changes and transformations in relationships, and that's honestly through self-discovery, because the lunar eclipse, while it focuses on relationship dynamics, we also, you can't be in a relationship, well, you can be in a relationship by yourself, but and we all have a relationship to ourselves. But what I'm trying to say is that the lunar eclipse kind of forces us to go inward and look at the things that we are not content with, the things that our soul calls to transform so that we can live a better life. So as we go through the process of self-discovery, the relationships transform dramatically. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. And so during this period, relationships, they experience sudden challenges, breakthroughs and endings. Everything seems so intense and so magnified as emotions run high because of the surge from the lunar eclipse. And they give us an awareness of what we lack in our lives, and they push us into taking action to address those imbalances, and thus brings about the change and the transformation. So although the initial phase may feel chaotic or uncertain, that often leads to powerful revelations that can steer us toward a more meaningful path in life. And that is the point, guys. And so this series of lunar eclipses is going to start on the 17th of September, and they are going to stretch through 2027. So it's going to happen over a period of 2.5 years. And it is going to be in the sign in the Virgo Pisces axis in our charts. So the Virgo Pisces axis is activated, and this particular eclipse series is going to invite us to explore how well we are balancing the practical everyday aspects of our material lives with our spiritual and emotional needs. Because Virgo and Pisces, Virgo rules the 6th house, Pisces rules the 12th house. The 6th house is all about our everyday routines, our health needs, and the tools that we use to get through our material lives, while the 12th house is ruled by Pisces, and that's ruled by things that are hidden, things that are unseen, the spiritual realm, our connection to the divine, and God, our higher sense of self. Our higher sense of self, and our spiritual health and things like that. So Virgo's influence focuses on the tools and the ways that the methods we use to manage our daily routines, health, and the desire for to have our materials lives run the way we want it to. And under Virgo's energy, we become more aware of the imperfections, because Virgo is all about the meticulous detail. And so we can see through Virgo, or that the energy of Virgo helps us to see the flaws and imperfections more acutely when it is activated. So, and when this lunar eclipse is activated, you're going to see without a doubt what in your life is flawed and imperfect, and you're going to want to change that. And on the opposite end, Pisces governs, like I said, our spiritual lives. And this is emphasizing our connection to the divine, our intuition, and our emotional and spiritual health. And so what this is going to be, let me just continue on now. Well, Pisces energy also allows us to see the beauty in imperfection and chaos, while Virgo is like, no, we need order in the court. Okay, order in the court. So this eclipse is encouraging us to seek harmony between the material and the spiritual realms. That's what it's calling us to do. And so focusing too much on either end of the spectrum, whether living in chaos or becoming too, overly rigid, that's going to create that imbalance between that realm of the material world and the spiritual world. It's all about finding the balance there. And then as we move into this conversation with you guys, how our everyday lives with regards to the area that it's affecting in our chart, like how are we focusing there or not, to the point where it's giving or detracting from our spiritual needs, our spiritual, mental, and emotional health, right? That is what this eclipse is going to be, working with through us, right? It's going to ask us to find a sweet spot between spiritual fulfillment and our daily responsibilities. If you're too focused in your daily, but you're neglecting your spiritual health, that's a problem. You're going to find breakdown with regards to how those are affecting you. And we have a little bit of nuance here because we have the lunar eclipse is going to be connected to Neptune, which is aligned with the moon, and the influence of Neptune is going to add a layer of fantasy and idealism as it rules Pisces. So honestly, I think that it's going to have a layer of divine connection associated with it. So I think there's going to be like sudden revelations and sudden breakthroughs spiritually that you're going to have with regards to where these areas touch in your chart. And it's also aspecting Jupiter, and Jupiter's job is to expand or to exaggerate whatever it touches. So that's this energy is going to be on 10. It's going to be even heightened even further. And it's also being aspected by Uranus in a pretty desirable way. So I think the changes will come about somewhat easy. Okay. This lunar eclipse is also giving us spiritual insights. And like I said, I already said that, but spiritual insights, which is leading to emotional growth. So the events around the eclipse are likely to push us toward greater emotional understanding and spiritual connection from within. So we may realize that in order to feel fulfilled, we need to pay attention to our mental and emotional well-being. We got to let go of stress, and we got to become more passionate to ourselves. We have to learn self-compassion and towards others. And so at this time, we're also going to have to take a break, possibly from the daily grind, and focus on nurturing our spiritual needs, right? We can't be so wrapped up in the material that we're neglecting our spiritual needs. So this is going to allow for personal growth and deeper connections also to those around us. And maybe we're going to sever ties to those around us and our relationship to things in our environment that's not contributing to us spiritually, that we're just way too focused on in this material world. So, guys, this, like I said, cycle is going to bring about the beginning of a new journey. Okay. So this eclipse will set the tone for your life that's going to carry on until 2027. And it's all about how we navigate our material life and in a way that enriches us. And so although changes may feel big now, they're opening doors to new experiences and fresh perspectives and ultimately a better life. And so as we dive deeper into this lunar eclipse, let's talk about how it's going to affect your sign. So you can see how it's going to influence your path forward through the next 2.5 years through 2027. Let's get it, guys. What's going on, Cap? How are you? What does the lunar eclipse in Pisces happening on September 17th have in store for you? Well, first and foremost, I can tell you big shifts, sudden shifts, major transformation, huge drama, for better or worse, but it's all for your good, all for your greatest good, Capricorn. And this is happening, the lunar eclipse is happening in your third house. And in fact, the eclipses that are going to be unfolding in Virgo and Pisces over the next 2 years, 2.5 years through 2027 is happening in your third and your ninth house. And the lunar eclipse on the 17th of September is lighting up your third house, bringing attention to your relationships with siblings, neighbors, how you interact with your environment and the surroundings or your surroundings, right? So hidden matters will suddenly pop up, okay? They're popping up on you, bringing surprises related to family members, local activities, neighbors, and day-to-day interactions. So you could find yourself drawn into a situation involving a sibling or neighbor that requires your immediate focus and attention, right? And action. There may be an unexpected opportunity for a short trip because the third house rules short trips. Or you could receive surprising news through conversations or messages, right? Because the third house rules communication. Your local environment might become more active with events unfolding that demand your attention. Let me just say this right now, Capricorn. Yes, there are going to be unexpected changes that will demand your attention, and they will beg for your action or reaction. Don't do that. A week before and the week after the eclipses, you want to wait before you make any moves. Don't make sudden moves. Just look at the information that's being presented. You know what big changes are going to require you to move and act, but you're not going to have all the information. The energy is way too thick and too heavy, and it's just not an ideal time in the middle of an eclipse to make a sudden move, even though you're going to want to feel like you got to, because it gives you this jolt of energy. Sit back and relax, take stock of what's happening, and plan your move, right? The best outcome is when you plan your move, not when you act hastily. So that's the advice I can give you there. Okay. Moving on, you're going to have sudden shifts in your daily routines and communication. This eclipse is affecting your daily communication, your travel plans, and everyday activities, bringing unexpected changes. So be ready for that. A sibling or someone in your immediate circle may experience a significant event that impacts your schedule or just demands your support. So you might find yourself at the center of a project as well, involving writing, speaking, or sharing ideas with others, pushing you into the spotlight. A major decision regarding travel, education, or communication project could reach a pivotal moment, leading to sudden changes in your daily routines. So be prepared for disruptions in your everyday life. It could be exciting and good ones. I mean, you could be starting a YouTube channel or starting a podcast or something, right? That's exciting. That's going to demand your change in your routine. But like I said, don't make any sudden moves until a week after the eclipses, right? These disruptions and sudden shifts it is going to affect how you interact with those around you ultimately. And so also the eclipse on the 17th, like we already said, it's highlighting your everyday tasks and responsibilities. And it's also calling for a need for better organization, because you're going to get busy. So you're going to have to organize, right? So you can keep track of things. Otherwise, it's going to take from you spiritually if you're having to double back because you're not organized in your day to day. This is a period to carefully balance practicality with emotion. Okay. You want to ensure that your actions and words are measured and thoughtful. Okay. If you have to deliver a message and you have to speak, which a lot is in talking and things like that, that's indicated here. You don't want those words to be emotionally charged to where they offend people or you send across the wrong message. So be measured with the words that you say, speak, write, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Also, you want to be mindful of deadlines or pressure from projects that require your immediate attention, right? Avoid rushing through things. Like I said, you're going to want to be buzzing through things. You're going to want to take sudden action. Try to avoid doing that until all details are very clear and the energy has settled. Right. This eclipse is going to reveal new ways of thinking and understanding a situation, offering a fresh perspective that shifts your focus. So while things may feel like they're slowing down, after a while, the changes are setting the stage for future growth and success. So be ready. I wonder what you're doing. I really want to know. You should tell me in the comments what communication projects you have underway, what projects you have, or what events you have going on with neighbors and siblings. I'm super curious about that. Guys, be careful or be cautious about taking on too much information at once. Focus on what's most important and avoid becoming overwhelmed, because the eclipse energy can be overwhelming. Okay. Remember that you may not have all the details. That's important because we don't have all the details at the eclipse. We get pieces of the information. We get fused with a lot of energy, and it makes us want to move. Wait till the energy settle down and more of the story starts to unfold or make itself known to you, so you can make the best action forward. Okay. Also, some things might be exaggerated because Jupiter is involved and Jupiter expands everything. So you definitely want to make sure we're clear and we understand what's happening, and we're not just, like I said, moving with haste. Right? This is going to be the first of several eclipses that's going to be influencing our communication style, our learning, and our immediate environment over the next 2.5 years through 2027, right? So you can expect changes with how you connect with folks, how you approach your learning again in travel, how you express your thoughts and ideas. Events unfolding now will definitely lay the foundation for new experiences that's going to shape your life and how you navigate communication moving forward when the eclipses and Virgo and Pisces are all said and done. So embrace these shifts as a part of your ongoing journey, Capricorn, toward growth, adventure and self-expression. That is exciting, right? And if you got any value from this, Capricorn, please communicate with me, share any environments. I want you to put embracing the transformation, because big ones are ahead and it's all for the best. And so until next time, keep your hearts open and your spirits connected. Ciao for now, Cal.